Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio, so today we need to have a look at a couple of new EXs, and those couple of new EXs have, special illustration rares, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is something worth getting very, very excited about indeed. Good. So let's start off having a look at what is definitely the highlight of the two. It's Pidgeot. I did see the translations myself here, but shout out to the lovely Antoine Boulet, with whom I checked to make sure I wasn't being a dummy. Now, Pidgeot is a big deal. Now, Pidgeot is a stage 2. I understand that. We have acknowledged that. Fine. But 280 HP is alright for a stage 2. It's pretty standard. Free Retreat is very, very good. And the ability is like flat out ridiculous, over the top, phenomenal. So I'm kind of alright with this, ladies and gentlemen. I am totally alright with this. You see, what we've got here is the ability Quick Search. And yes, it is exactly what you think it is. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for any card, put it into your hand, and then shuffle your deck. You can't use more than one Quick Search ability each turn. And for anybody wondering, hang on a second, Wassy, that sounds an awful lot familiar, it blummin' well should, because of course, we had this before on Pidgeot. It was a fire red leaf green Pidgeot that literally had Quick Search. There we go. Job's a good un. And the thing is, people who were playing back then remember that this Pidgeot was like absolutely flat out ridiculously phenomenally brilliantly awesome, and even those that weren't can probably look at this and go, hang on a second, grabbing any card during your turn, that sounds pretty good. Now, it is limited to one regardless. That is actually really, really important. What that means is that even if you can get multiple Pidgeot out, you won't be able to use multiple of these abilities. You can go and grab yourself any card during your turn, which is awesome, but then it is a one-shot deal. You can go and grab any card, yay, but that's it. Even if you get multiples of these out, you can get any card, and that's it. That is very, very important. Make no mistake about it, ladies and gentlemen, this is phenomenal, and it's going to see a huge amount of play. Like, I feel very, very confident that this is going to be great. Now, of course, it is not perfect, and nobody is suggesting it's perfect. It's a stage 2. The fact that it's a stage 2 is a very, very big deal. But we are moving into a format where one-hit KOs are rarer than they used to be, and this is phenomenal. Like, Iono is a big part of the format. It's going to remain a big part of the format. Because what Iono does is put you down to a small hand size, hopefully to a point where you then, lose the game. That's the whole point of Iono, incidentally. The whole point of Iono is, you're going to lose the game. So, here, you get Iono, and even if your opponent plays Iono and you end up with a one-card hand, you just go and use this to search whatever card you need to win the game, and then you win the game. If you can get one of these out and keep it out, something like Iono's just not going to worry you. I mean, fine, sometimes one card alone isn't enough to win the game, but it's going to be much, much less of an issue. It means you're not going to whiff that boss's orders that you need to win the game. It means if you're relying on special energy like reversal energy, you are going to have that on the perfect turn to make sure that you're not missing any momentum. It's wonderful. And sure, it's a stage 2, we've acknowledged that. But are you honestly telling me you don't think a lot of people are going to try and make this work? Because the thing is, we saw this before. We have seen this. We have seen people going, hang on a second, this Pidgeot's a little bit dumb because it can search for any one card, and using it to make ridiculously consistent decks. And the thing about stage 2s is, it depends how good the stage 2 is. It's not a case of we will or we won't play stage 2s. Like right now, a lot of stage 2s aren't seeing a huge amount of play, but nobody's going to sit here arguing that Gardevoir isn't good, because Gardevoir's clearly ridiculous. Yeah, that's kind of where we are here. You're going to see this in a whole bunch of decks. Sure, Bibarel's only a stage 1, and it's a really good draw engine, and people are still going to play that. But the idea that you can get any card you want every turn, Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. Oh, by the way, there's a special illustration rare. It looks like this. Actually, while we're here, there's a whole evolution line, all of which have been drawn by Jerky. That's the artist's name. I'm not insulting them. It's great. And they've done that thing again where they've given one artist the entire evolution line, and that entire artist has done one very stylized line of cards, and it just looks absolutely awesome and phenomenal and brilliant and wonderful. So yeah, you should get excited about this. This is awesome. I'm giving this 5 Wassies. There is a possibility that the collective player base just goes, nah mate, it's stage 2, not playing it. But the fact of the matter is, it looks great. We literally had a stage 2 Pidgeot with free retreat and this exact ability in the past, and it was a huge staple in a huge amount of decks because it was absolutely amazing. And from the responses I've already seen on Twitter first thing this morning, people seem to be loving this. I suppose we did actually see the regular versions of Pidgey and Pidgeotto as well, so here they are. But come on, ladies and gentlemen, one last look at the whole line of art rares. Look how beautiful they are. There is actually an attack here on Pidgeot as well, I should mention, but it's nothing particularly special. 2 energy, 120, you can discard a stadium in play. If you're desperate to get rid of a stadium, it's fine. The fact that it's colourless energy is quite nice. It's alright. But people are playing Pidgeot because it's got a phenomenal ability. Free retreat is the second best thing about this card, because having a free retreat is always good. The attack is fine, but it's the third best thing about this card. But that is not the only EX that was revealed this morning. We also saw Revavroom, and of course, Revavroom did get one of the booster packs, so, you know, maybe it's going to be absolutely flat out stellarly amazing to justify having the booster pack. I mean, the ability is really, really, really good. So what we've got here is an ability that says, this Pokemon can have 4 tool cards attached to it at the same time. Oh, cool. That seems kind of fun now, doesn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Why, yes. Yes, it does. And of course, we have seen this ability before as well. There was a Sigilif a little while ago that had this ability. It had a different name at the time. It was called, what was it called? I'm drawing a blank here. Oh, it's just literally called Toolbox. There we go. Because it can have 4 tools attached to it. This is same kind of thing, but it's on a stage 1 EX rather than being on a basic, just single prize Pokemon. And look, it really is as simple as, if you've got stuff you want to do with Pokemon tools, this is amazing. If you don't have stuff to do with Pokemon tools, it is not particularly good. Oh, I should actually mention, Honchkrow V. I'm so excited about Sigilif because I remember that card seeing a lot, and it did see a lot more play than Honchkrow. So I'm sitting and talking about Sigilif, which to be fair does have it. It has the same ability, but we've actually got Honchkrow, which is legal in the format at the moment, and is a basic Pokemon. So I kind of think Honchkrow might be a better option. Either way, of course, we are talking about Pachirisu here. 30 damage for each Pokemon tool attached to all of your Pokemon. That's clearly the way we're going here if we want to be an attacker. And look, it's just another way to have a bunch of tools on. It means you can cover your weakness, etc. But I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not sure I particularly love the idea of having a stage 1 Pokemon that I'm playing for the ability when it's the same ability I can have on a basic Pokemon. And look, I do understand this entirely, because I know that Revavroom has a different weakness. I know that Revavroom has an extra 80 HP, etc. I understand all of this, but the fact of the matter is, if I want to be playing something like this, I want to be trying to just pile tools onto my field as quick as I can. And I'm not loving the fact that I've got to wait to evolve up before I can really do that. And sure, like, if there's basic ability lock, then you can use this to get around it and all of that, I suppose. But I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just not a huge fan of this, because I think we've got a better option already. Sorry. Right, okay, fine. I'm going to mention it because it's kind of fun. Do remember that we do have Extra Tight Belt, which reduces damage done to the stage 1 it's attached to by 30. So yes, you could put 4 Extra Tight Belt on a Revavroom and give it an effective HP of 400. But it's actually more than that because no one's one-hitting that, so it's actually a lot more. And you can get a borderline invincible Revavroom on your bench, which is kind of hilarious. I still want Honchkrow because it's basic, but the fact that you can make Revavroom borderline invincible, at least one of them, using Extra Tight Belt is kind of funny. We do have an attack here as well, I should say. The attack for free energy does 170, and during your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 30 less damage from attacks. It's not particularly amazing. Hey-ho. One thing I will say, however, we do have the other Revavroom. And this is the one time I start getting a little bit excited. Because, of course, remember, the other Revavroom lets you discard an energy card from your hand and then draw until you've got 6 cards in your hand. It's actually a pretty decent draw engine. So there is an argument here that you could, play Revavroom EX as your, hey, I'm carrying a bunch of tools, so that you can then, because you're already playing Varoom at that point, so you can then, just tech in the draw engine one. That's kind of cool. I will say we do have a special illustration rare and an illustration rare of Vroom and Revavroom. They're here. Look how beautiful they are. Once again, they are done by the same artist, which I very much appreciate. You've got Gunjima there who is doing it. And these are just absolutely flat out over the top, ridiculously stunning. I might not be a great fan of the card, but I am a very big fan of the artwork here. For what it's worth, the attack does 10 damage and draws a card. It's fine. There is actually another Varoom here. It's 2 energy 30, but it does have 70 HP. I'll let you make the decision there. So, I don't know, give this 3 Wassies. It's not terrible. I just look at this and I'm like, I'm playing it for the ability, and I would rather play Honchkrow for the ability. Like, if I'm missing something obvious and dumb, let me know in the comment section. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd rather just have Honchkrow. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. 2 new EXs, one of which is absolutely phenomenal. And, well, 5 artwork rares, 2 special and 3 regular. So there we go. I think that's pretty gosh darn exciting, but I want to hear from you guys, so let me know in the comment section. Get us. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and card games and Pokemon card games, all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, all kinds of fun things. And of course, you can get shout-outs on the channel over on the Patreon, like the lovely Joseph Forget, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and seems to be a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.